your girl Adeola. I am so excited that against all odds, Nigerian under-23 football team made us proud last week. Yes, sir. Beating Japan 5-4. Last week I told you guys that our athletes are stranded, raising money online. Well, the soccer team was also stranded in Atlanta because there was no transportation arrangement. It was very sad. What a shame, Nigeria. And guess what the Youth and Sport Development Minister said? Keep in mind, this man is a barrister, by the way.
Our under-23 team suffering in United States of Nigeria.
China, come on.
United States of Nigeria.
Hey!
Because they are under 23 and they went to US and they are having problems. Does that become our business?
How did this man become the sports minister? Do we have facilities of international standard in Nigeria where the players could practice? Isn't that why the players went to Atlanta in the first place? And why is the man always wearing uniform? I don't know. Is he a soldier or a minister? Anyway, our players finally landed in Brazil less than 7 hours to their game. And guess what? They welcomed our players to Brazil with the wrong national anthem. Don't beg me. At this point, I was like, yo, I have to sue somebody. I need to sue the Olympics committee. These people want Adeola, look at them. And they played the whole song. They didn't even stop to change it. I was like, hey. But you know, despite all the drama, praise him. Our players gave their best and they won the game, making Nigeria the first African country to win a game at the Olympics. Yes, sir! Up Nigeria, up Nigeria. And then the unthinkable happened.
Team Nigeria wore tracksuits at the opening ceremony because their outfits were not ready.
My father and my God. How? Please, somebody tell me how. What kind of insult is this? The truth of the matter is, Nigerians are very talented. We're very talented. But the problem is we have clowns in power. I always wonder how well we would be doing in the sports arena if we have the same facilities, the same trainees that other countries invest in their players. Hopefully this won't be the only win at the Olympics, but whatever happens, these players have proved to the whole world that we can be so much more than we are if we have better preparation. But you guys don't know much. Guess what? I'm just keeping it real. So this week, Reverend Mbaka had a message for Mr. President.
Hunger everywhere. As the president is fighting corruption, some of us are praying that he will equally fight hunger.
Snap!
The landlords are crying. Tenants are lamenting. There is hunger on the streets. Many students are being rusticated out of the school because they can't pay for school fees. Many companies are winding up.
Preach, my brother, preach!
The president should please look around himself and those who are telling him that there's no trouble. The president should know that there's trouble. And if things continue like this, in the next election, nobody will vote for him.
Tell them, I beg it, tell them. Yes, so Oga Buhari, people are hungry. What I don't understand is how Mr. President is sleeping at night when people are dying of hunger. And it's not just people living in Nigeria. This thing is affecting Nigerians all over the world. I get emails from Nigerian international students in different parts of the world. Adam Dixon is one of 200 Nigerian students abandoned in various universities across Europe and Canada. He wrote me because they were awarded scholarship by the Niger Delta Development Commission, that is NDDC. Imagine not being paid your living allowances for 8 months. How do they think the students are eating? Others could not even register for classes. The school is pushing them out and they have nobody abroad. The same thing is happening among Kano students who won government scholarship to study in India, Egypt, Sudan, China, Turkey, Cyprus. They didn't pay their tuition, their accommodation or living allowances for 10 months. The school threatened to stop them from writing exams. The last thing that I heard from the Kano students abroad is that the government has approved the payment of 3 months allowances. But what about their tuition and flight ticket? So many parents can no longer afford sending their children abroad to study because the same amount that they used to pay for tuition last year doesn't even add up to half right now. As a result, several Nigerian international students have returned home or moved to Ghana to continue their education. Imagine that you started in America, ended in Ghana, started in America, ended in Nigeria. And so many other students are stranded abroad trying to find the way by all means. Some of them are now working off campus, which is illegal, which means they could be arrested and they could be deported. And let me just say this, for those that have never traveled outside Nigeria, some of them think that living abroad is like living in heaven. No, please. International students suffer abroad. Please don't let anybody deceive you, because some of them would write comments like, oh well, you're already in America, what else do you need? No. How much is dollars to naira now? 400. 400 naira to $1, my people. Which is why I don't understand why Mr. President is subsidizing forex for pilgrims. The central bank has directed banks and forex sellers to sell dollars to pilgrims for 197 naira to $1. And this applies not only to Muslim pilgrims going on Hajj because last year he did the same thing for Christians that went to Jerusalem for their traveling allowance. You cannot tell Nigerians that religion is not important. So we are not even going to debate that. Yes, religion is important, but education is also very important. This is something that will shape the future of these students, Mr. President. Why can't you show them the same courtesy you're showing those that are going on pilgrimage? Pilgrims will go, they will come back. Students are trying to invest in their lives. They are trying to invest in their future. And you cannot do this for them, Mr. President. I don't understand. All you need is evidence that they are enrolled, which is very easy. Who is advising this man? And it's not just the international students that are suffering. For those who have families that are going through tough times in Nigeria, it's now very difficult to send money to Nigeria. A viewer by the name Ewadelove was the one that alerted me that the central bank in Nigeria has blocked several global remittance companies from transferring money to Nigeria. The only ones that they didn't block is Western Union, MoneyGram, and RIA. Maybe transfers is still working, I don't know. But now it's very difficult to send money to Nigeria. Buhari needs to wake up and do something fast. He can start by listening to my episode on how America came out of recession. There's a lot of robbery going on now in restaurants across Nigeria. People are stealing food, and there has been several cases of people selling food on the streets being robbed. As Father Mbaka said, there is hunger everywhere. And please, if this doesn't affect you, if you're doing well where you are, that doesn't mean that it's not happening to some people. By the way, Mr. President, how do you want us to believe you're fighting corruption when the Speaker of the House, Dogara, is boasting about padding the budget?
I studied law. I've been a legislator. All this period, I've never had the word padding being an offense under any law.
No. This cannot be happening. Is this true? To all the lawyers that are watching me, isn't padding the same thing as indirectly stealing money?
Are you worried?
I wouldn't know. Worried? Why should I be worried? As far as I'm concerned, I'm not worried about it.
Oh my God, this is an insult on Nigerians as a whole. Last year, stealing is not corruption. Now, padding the budget is not an offense. These people padded the Nigerian budget by 480 something billion naira. As of last week, that's more than $1.5 billion. And he's talking as if it's nothing. And you know what's pissing me off? The fact that he said these things right after meeting with Buhari. Mr. President, this is how you're fighting corruption? What did you tell him that made him to come out that bold to tell us he's not worried? I thought he would be afraid after meeting with Buhari. The way it stands right now, all these big people, when they steal in Nigeria, they know nothing would happen to them. That's what we are seeing. But you guys don't know much. Guess what? I'm just keeping it real. Moving on to Kenya. Ooh, Lord have mercy, Lord. Did you hear that a 34-year-old man cut off his wife's hands, both hands, because they couldn't have a baby after 7 years of marriage? Ooh, Lord help me. Don't beg me. Shut up. Don't beg me. He cut her head. He cut her abdomen. He cut off her hands. The ridiculous thing is that last year, the doctors told this couple that the husband is the one with problem. He's impotent. But they said that his impotence could be cured with series of treatments. The wife said that when they got home, he refused to accept that he's the one with the problem. So he refused to go for treatment because, of course, it has to be the woman's fault. No, so isn't that how so many African men think? And it's not just men. So many African women also believe that a woman should be blamed if the couple cannot conceive. And not only that, if they don't have a male child, oh my God, the woman must be a witch. No, so it's so sad. Even the in-laws will blame the woman for not giving them a boy. By the way, I think it's very funny that so many people don't know how the sex of a baby is determined. The man has the XY chromosome while the woman has the XX chromosome. You give birth to a girl when the man's X chromosome pairs with the woman's X chromosome. If a man's Y chromosome pairs with the woman's X chromosome, that's how you get a boy. Nobody has control of which one pairs with which. And I think it's funny because only men carry the Y chromosome. Only men, and that is the one that determines whether you have a boy. Yet, who do we blame? They blame the woman. And more importantly, a male child is not more important than a female child. That is one thing so many Africans need to get in their brains. A child is a child. It is what you do with your life that matters. In fact, don't get me started on that. But what I don't understand in this story is why the 27-year-old wife, that is Jacqueline Mwende, stayed in that relationship until the man cut off her hands. I was like, my sister, you said in the story that this man has been beating you even before he cut off your hand. So why did you stay? Okay, so I don't like talking about this because, you know, it's complicated. But why would the church tell her to stay if she said that the man is beating her? Heck no! Capital no! I'm not saying that they should divorce. Please, before you go and say Adeola is advocating for divorce, no. I don't like divorce myself because it not only affects the couple, it affects the children in ways that you can never even imagine. But if someone is laying his hands on you, my sister, run for your life. Run for your life. You guys can settle from distance. Make sure that you get help. Make sure that he goes for therapy or some professional help. Make sure that he's back to his senses or her senses if it is the woman that's abusing the man before you move back together. Too many women have died because they never thought that he could get to that point that he would kill them. Actually, he never really intends on killing them. It's just that he's been beating them for a long time and getting away with it. He thinks that it's business as usual, and then one day he hits a vital organ and the lady dies. If you are experiencing domestic violence, please don't suffer in silence. There are so many organizations that can help you. Please stop protecting your abuser who is not protecting you. It's better to stay alive. Don't become a statistics, my sister. Sometimes we Nigerians, we think we should just pray about everything. Yes, it's good to pray about everything. At the same time, there are professionals that can help us. So after refusing to go for treatment, this man left his house like 3 months ago, but upon his return, this is what he did to her. I mean, I wish her quick recovery, but unfortunately, every little thing is now a huge task for her. She can't pick up the cup, she can't feed herself, she doesn't have hands anymore. I'm glad that the guy has been arrested, but her life would never remain the same.
Stephen Gilla, the man accused of chopping off his wife's hand, has been denied bail till the 10th of this month. He's accused of attacking his wife, Jacqueline Mwende, on the 25th of July with the intention of killing her.
So if you're watching me and you are in an abusive relationship, it could be a man or a woman, because some women do abuse their husbands as well. Please run for your life. It is only when you are alive that you can be there for your children or for your parents or for others that value you. And maybe you are the abusive one in the relationship. Just stop. How would you like for the other person to be beating you the way you beat them? If she's not speaking out now, the day will come that she will speak out. And if you have children, let me tell you, they are watching everything you're doing to their mother. I don't know, maybe that's how you were brought up. Maybe you saw your father abusing your mother. It doesn't mean you have to do the same thing. If you need help, go and get help before you kill somebody. And let me say this to men and women of God that always tell people to stay in an abusive relationship, especially when there is physical abuse and you know that this woman is being beaten. I always wonder whether these men and women of God say the same thing to their own children if their children should be in that situation. Another thing that bothers me is hearing, oh, there has to be something that the woman is doing wrong that warrants the beating. You know, that always, I'm like, you know, it doesn't apply to all cases. And whatever she's doing, it doesn't mean he needs to beat her. You need to know that some men don't need the woman to do anything wrong before they would beat her. Some of them have drinking problems and they just lash out on the wife. Stop thinking that automatically it has to be the woman's fault. And please don't give anyone the advice that you will not give your own daughter if her husband is beating her up in her house. So marriage is supposed to be enjoyed. Please, if anybody is telling you that you're supposed to just endure, no. In fact, my brothers that are watching me, once in a while, take a look at the picture of your wife before she married you and look at how she looks today. Is she looking better? If she looks worse, how can you help her to be the fine babe that you fell in love with? Some men complain that their wives are overweight, and I'm like, how are you helping her to lose weight? You yourself, are you having a big stomach? Do you stay fit? If you're going to the gym, can you take her with you? And the funny thing is, when a woman looks good, people automatically compliment her husband. They see her, they say, oh guy, you're trying, oh madam is looking fine. But you guys not don't know much. Guess what? I'm just keeping it real.
Growing up in Kenya, my sister and I were very close. But like any sisters, we fought a lot. She always got new clothes and I always got hand-me-downs. Now she's putting her children through school in Kenya. We still fight sometimes, especially when I send money for the kids. I tell her, buy some clothes for the younger one, and we both laugh.
With nearly 500,000 locations, our app and online, this is moving money for better.
Alright y'all, it's been real and I'm keeping it real right up in here. Don't forget to follow me on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. Until next week, I'm gonna see y'all later. Peace out.